Welcome back to another Java with James. We've had to retreat inside because we are shooting here in Long Beach and the IMSA race is happening at the moment. So that means two things. That means one, it's Saturday, and two, IndyCar qualifying's just happened. So we're just gonna get this out of the way right now. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you.
Pole position for the race, first for MSR.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna get to all that. But we gotta start with the feature of the show. Today we are drinking cappuccinos.
Honda cappuccino.
We all know how to make the best coffee in the paddock,
Yes.
right? That's
Yes.
established.
Clearly.
And you chose a cappuccino.
Yep.
Why did you choose a cappuccino?
For me, it's actually a breakfast drink, technically. Okay. But
technically,
it's probably a breakfast somewhere in the world right now. So we'll
almost certainly.
Yeah, but I love cappuccino. Whole milk, I think, is very important. It gives that little buttery foam to it.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, it's not as like hard. It's not like champagne bubbles. It's like silky.
Okay.
That's what you get from the whole milk. So it should be a double shot, which according to the taste test, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 2 shots of espresso.
Yeah.
And then it's just what, foamy milk on top?
Yeah, you have to steam it. It's like a whole.
How is it different than a latte?
So latte is just more and a little bit less like foamy. So less steaming time and more milk.
This all sounds like the same drink, just one slight difference.
It's Italian, man. They're
all right.
It's all in the details.
Okay, so I appreciate that this is obviously made a while ago and is not piping hot. Flavor-wise, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. 3.2 out of 10.
Out of 10?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's pretty. No, that's good for me.
Oh yeah.
That's a high rating.
You don't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee. That's gross.
So I haven't gotten you over to the dark side.
No, I'm not on the dark roast side yet. Baby steps on that.
Well, it's a start.
Okay, but you were telling me that you are like a bit of a coffee snob.
Yeah.
We have a few of those in the paddock.
Palu.
Yeah.
Who else?
Malukas. Malukas is he's like an addict.
Oh.
Like I think he had
How many a day?
He was on like 5, 6 maybe. He had to like tone it back, and then he got the shakes. I think he's maybe seeking professional help. But like we literally did a taste, and he goes, "This kind of tastes like Pete's coffee." And then we asked Rebecca, who runs the coffee bar here, and she goes, "That's it." Like he nailed the beans.
He spent a lot of time in California.
I guess.
So my thing with coffee is as a huge coffee snob. I have It's not a machine, it's an investment. It's a whole operation at home. It takes like half an hour to do a coffee, that whole thing.
Half an hour to do a coffee?
Or to heat it up. But I actually don't drink from Monday till yesterday. I haven't drunk a single coffee.
Oh, okay. So you don't like need a coffee. You don't rely on coffee every day.
But for me, it's like a competitive thing. So I take it before practice 1. And then I'm like, boom.
You're like wired.
Yeah.
Do you take it before qualifying?
Yeah. Every session.
Every race.
But in the week, if I have a back-to-back weekend, like when I come home on Monday, no coffee until Thursday at Barber.
Okay, so let me get this right. You don't have a coffee machine, you have a coffee investment.
Yes.
At your house.
Yes.
Right. You don't drink coffee during the week when you're home, you only drink it before you get in the race car. What? Why invest in a...
Winter is long.
Oh, so in the winter it's fair game.
When we're racing, then it's how do you say it's not doping. It's as close to doping as you can get.
Right. Yeah, like legal doping.
Legal doping.
Right. But so in the winter, how many do you drink every
then it's like
a day?
2 a day.
2 a day.
But it's double, so 4, I guess.
But so why not during the week in race season? Why is it?
Because you get hooked on it, and then when you don't
it
have
has
it,
no effect.
No effect. It's like any not drug. It's not a drug, let's be honest. But it's like anything. It's sugar or you know.
So you build a tolerance to it, so it doesn't have the same effect you want it to have. So what effect does it have for you, for when you get in the car?
I mean, honestly, I'm like half asleep when I'm
times.
not. Like I'm a very slow person.
Yeah.
I do everything
live at a
slow
low level and just sort of.
But when I get my coffee, then I feel like I'm like alert and
right.
I'm like aware and I take things in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for me, it's like, because I tried it in Formula 3 once. Someone just gave me an espresso. I think it was the first espresso I ever had.
And you won the race?
Pole.
Yeah, and you pole.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that became
since then, it was like, oh, maybe there's something to it. So now we're like, if you need to wake up more, it's like a double. If you only need to wake up a little bit, it's a single. So we're that's like in the equation of the car setup now.
Okay. Where does Emily sit on the coffee scale?
What do you mean, like on the?
Like, does she have a coffee every day? Does she with you on the campus? Does she support this investment, or does she think you're insane?
Oh, she loves it.
Okay.
Because she pretends like she's actually been a barista back in the day.
Okay.
But now she all of a sudden forgot how to make a coffee. So she
Smart.
loves
Smart
waking
girl.
up like
Yeah, yeah.
in the bed and
Yeah,
with a heart on the in the milk.
You do the heart in the milk?
Yeah. I can do a tulip. Yeah. You can do whatever you want.
I want an IndyCar.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see if you make a cappuccino with an IndyCar in the milk. I'll drink the whole thing.
Maybe I'll do like a cut it out of a paper and just spray.
Either way, I mean, with the cinnamon or something on top, that'd be pretty.
I'll give you an IndyCar.
Have you and Polo exchanged notes on this? Have you guys talked about it?
We did Indy GP on the truck, like when you
Yeah.
pre-lap. We had a whole, because I was like, I've been on YouTube so much, and like I now actually have a guy who knows.
Like a professional.
Yeah, so
store owner.
in that short time, I managed to actually get a couple of good.
So this is
hints.
important for the fans at home. If you've ever wondered what the drivers are talking about during the pace lap on the truck, it's not strategy, it's not the state of the sport, it is coffee making tips. Remember
Steaming angle, steaming time.
that. Oh, the angle is important.
Yeah.
Angle
45
to the
degrees
angle is a
like that
whole-
and
yeah.
that. 45.
You love it though.
I love it.
Like you say, like, oh yeah, she forgot how to do it, but you would want to do it anyway.
Oh,
you
dude,
wouldn't
I
want
feel
anyone
like
else
such a
making your
man,
coffee.
such a what do you call it? Like provider.
There you go.
Yeah, here
oh,
my
it's
leg-
nice.
here my
Oh,
love.
it's sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sweet. When's
Very
the big
nice.
day?
September 21.
September
21st. Yeah.
I was gonna say you're late. Now I get why she doesn't make you coffee. September 20. Are you excited?
Oh, massively.
Everything planned?
Yeah. She's been planning a lot.
I kind of
Yeah,
assumed.
I've been saying yes a lot.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. How
let's
over
do
budget
that.
are you? Notice how it wasn't
25%.
Notice how it wasn't immediate. No, we're not over budget. It's everywhere.
25%.
How big? Big? Small?
I think American standard is pretty small.
Okay.
It's like 120.
That's average. That's like a
Yeah.
medium. That's a mid-sized.
So I know the Spanish are like 300 people.
Yeah, like Italians. Or, yeah.
And it's like one side is paying. And
Yeah,
it's like a lot of rules.
Right.
This is pretty chill. It's like a good party.
Doing it back home?
Yeah, Sweden.
Back home in Sweden.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
Be fun.
season's done. You're just straight home.
Yeah.
Jump in the tux.
Jump in the tux.
Get it done.
It's actually right after Nashville.
Right. Yeah.
Weekend after.
Yeah.
So.
Have you been involved in like do you help make decisions, or are you kind of just like along for the ride? 50-50.
Emil has really good taste. Like
Okay.
I trust her fully, and we have the same taste in like everything. So I'm very happy for her to just kind of do her thing. But I'll chime in, if there's a little detail.
Okay.
But mainly I just need to know where I need to stand. Like
Right.
An X on the ground. Okay, you need to be here this time.
What's like the one thing that you had to have at your what's like everything else? I'm kind of I'll go with the flow. I'll help you pick it, but like this one thing I've always wanted, and this has got to happen.
On the wedding,
Yeah.
maybe not too long speeches.
That
That was my only, a
time limit on the speeches.
It's probably mostly for myself.
Well, yeah, for sure.
To save myself. If people expect me to have a long one.
They don't. You can do whatever you want. It's your
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
But
I
what
love
you
that.
should do is you should have a little one of those like soccer air horns, right?
Yeah, when it's time
And
out.
so like as soon as you're over that particular, and
you're
just
like, oh, okay.
get it done, and the
Cheers.
person just knows that everybody knows ahead of time that you have it,
Yeah.
and that's the signal. It's job done.
Very good.
I like.
I mean, as you say, it's your day. It's my day.
Yeah,
So it's
100%.
like, dude.
I don't
the
care
rules.
what's left. You haven't kept me engaged up to this point, so you don't get another 3 minutes. You're
No.
out. Done.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right, let's talk racing.
Okay.
Big change for 2024.
Yep.
Leave McLaren, join MSR, and you came from Ganassi before that.
Mm-hmm.
So not to like, in the most literal sense, I'm sure from a people standpoint or whatever, you've come down. It's a much smaller program.
Mm-hmm.
How has the transition been from just the stance of the number of people you're working with, and potentially some of the resources available, kind of going from McLaren, which is a ever expanding and growing environment, to this sort of stable but much smaller program?
I think actually with the people I work with on a day-to-day basis, like on the track, it's very similar. Like the amounts of engineers, mechanics, like it's almost exactly the same. And we have a partnership with Andretti, so we get access to that, and we kind of work as one unit between the sessions. So it's honestly not a big of a difference. It's probably more like the media side.
Right.
I mean, McLaren had like 17 PR people, and now it's Maddie.
Just Maddie.
Maddie
just running it all.
Runs the show.
Because before we started, this was funny. Before we started, he's asking about like framing and mic position. I'm like, man, you've done this before.
Been around the block.
He's like, well, yeah, I drove from McLaren.
Yeah, they trained me well.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Do you miss that side of it?
Not really.
No.
I mean, it was fun because, like, to be honest, like, me, Pato, and Alex had a good vibe going, so it made it easier, but it was a lot. So it was. I feel like now every day is a bit of a vacation in comparison. It's like, oh, I can actually like talk to people, get to know people. So
you came into this situation, like I said, off the back of a McLaren stint, off the back of a Ganassi stint, and both of those teams kind of had the established quote-unquote team leader, whether it was just based on tenure or whatever. And now you step in MSR, you've got a rookie teammate, so you're both new to the team. Tom's new to the sport, to the series, not new to the sport. And you kind of have to assume that role.
Yeah.
Has that been a big transition for you, and do you notice a difference from the part that you play, the role that you play now versus what you've done in the previous sort of 3, 4, or 5 years?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that's probably the biggest difference for me, and where my role plays this year. As you say, I've been with Dixon, Ganassi, and Pato at McLaren. I think they were clear sort of leaders in the team, or they were, the engineers would probably follow mostly what they did, and that's how it is. If you have that, if you're established in the team, that you're gonna have that leverage, right? And I feel now I was just forced into a position where I'm gonna have to pull the shots, but I like it. Like it's worked really well, and I'm almost surprised because I've never really done that before.
Yeah.
So it's I think maybe previously in my career I have, but now it's like, hey, like what do you think? And everyone's just looking at me. But when you do that, and when you get into a rhythm, and when you actually most of the time you make the right decision, it's very like rewarding, and it's almost like addicting. And I feel like that's been the key to our success so far. We just kind of been vibing really well between the engineers and me, and Tom. Like, yeah, it's just I feel like the people are behind me. They trust me, and I trust them when I give them feedback. And yeah, it's just been better and better every time we're out on the track.
Let's talk about that success a little bit, because you showed up in St. Pete, and no one's ever doubted your speed, your ability, anything like that. But you're going into a program that last year, let's call a spade, had a rough season, right? Obviously, the pace wasn't there at a lot of events. They lost Simon 3/4 of the way through the season, which was a big loss, and all those things. Elio then retires. And you guys rock up to St. Pete. You're like, well, we're going to go ahead and start in the front row. We're just going to do that real quick. Was that a surprise for you, or did you guys always kind of secretly in the back of your head be like, we're kind of underrated and we think we can do this?
I thought the team was underrated, and I think that was a big reason why I wanted to team up with Meyer Shank Racing, and also at the same time how much Mike wanted me to be on the team. And he was like, hey, you're gonna be our guy. We need your feedback. Like we need you to help us to get this in the right direction. And I like that. I like that they really. I feel like I was their missing puzzle piece in a way, and they were mine. But yeah, like we were quick in preseason testing, but we didn't really want to.
And preseason testing is kind of whatever. Like it's tough to know what.
You're like, oh shit! Like every time we were out there, like top 3, top 4. But then in St. Pete, it was almost like we actually thought we would be. We'd say top 10 is going to be great, both qualifying and the race. And then, as you say, we were on the pole, almost on the pole, and yeah, with 3 front rows now. So it's a little bit surprising for sure.
The Saturday pace, I think, has been one of the stories of the year. Do you think the team is performing at the same level on Sundays as they are on Saturdays, or do you think there's maybe still things that you guys as a group can improve on a Sunday? Because you're going up against some heavy competition, right? I mean, the series is competitive. We know the pedigree of the Penske's and the Ganassis and the McLarens, the Andretti's, etc. But do you guys feel like you're ready to really step up and be race winners this year?
I think we are. It's kind of like the unexplored at the moment, because we only done, we did St. Pete, which we had some issues in that race. Thermal, we didn't have any pit stops. So I feel like we're still like where are we gonna end up? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about Sundays during the off season. That's kind of been not haunting me, but like it's keeping me awake at night. Like what do I need to do? I've been doing a lot of analysis and kind of just work on myself to make sure I can be in a better position, because my pole to win ratio right now is 6-1.
Right.
So it's like I want to work on that. I don't want to be the guy who's on pole and then goes back. So no, I think we can do it. We're ready for that challenge. It might take some time. I don't know, but we're in the best possible position for here in Long Beach, and I think it really helps here to start on pole. So
yeah, for sure. When you move to this organization, you talk about the difference in social media commitments, or media commitments probably in general. Does that give you kind of more free time even away from the racetrack?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah?
It's a little bit more free. Like we're pretty busy in the weekends with partners and stuff, but it's in general it's probably less load.
Right.
I'd say, yeah.
So have you had time to enjoy more hobbies with your extra
Coffee.
free time? Just making coffee.
That's it.
Yeah. Even though you don't drink it Monday to Thursday, you're at home
I'm
practicing making it?
I'm still giving a meal.
I would say, you're still making it? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's
No,
it,
I think I've, more than anything, I've had a chance to actually talk to the team members more, which has been
Interesting.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like, hey, how's your day? What are you doing? So that's actually important as well.
For sure.
I mean, that it's huge to build that relationship. So I've been enjoying that, because it's kind of been a new side to it a little bit.
Do you spend a lot of time in the shop?
Not a lot. It's like 4 hours away.
Yeah.
And then my engineers are in Indy with
I guess that's a good point. Yeah.
So we have a lot of lunches
chat your
and stuff,
engineers. Yeah, that's a good point.
They're down the road. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we keep in touch all the time. So
Let's briefly touch on hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming in soon. You've had a chance now to drive and explore the new technology that's coming in. What are kind of your first thoughts on it?
I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
I'd say the package Honda gave us when we rolled out the Indy GP for the one and only test we're getting, pretty much. It worked flawlessly. We had no issues. It was quite interesting how you had to like be active, and you had to like, your brain capacity is always like obviously 100% to just drive the car, or maybe like 97, and then 3% goes to like talk on the radio. And now it's more like 20% is going towards like managing the hybrid, like recharging or charging, deploying, like where do you want to deploy, where do you want to recharge, and there's a million ways to do it, and it affects the car balance and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. Like it's just a new way to approach it, and it's probably going to be more annoying for some drivers than others. So probably more of a mix up in the field.
Does your FE experience give you a leg up, do you think?
I think so, yeah. Because actually my engineer, Dave, he's been working Formula E as well, and obviously the whole team has been in with hybrids in IMSA.
Right.
So we're like, I feel like everyone kind of knows the language, and when you say like one of these new terms, which are very different from normal racing terms, like the MGU or whatever, like everyone's like on the same program. So I think we can be a little bit of a dark horse when it comes to the hybrid, how to make the most out of it, and just be kind of clever. Because in the beginning it's always like those little, one engineer comes up with something, it's like everyone follows. So I think we can be on the front line of that for sure. Because
anytime there's kind of a big regulation change is when things sort of normally get blown open, and one group tends to find something out faster than the rest, right?
And then everyone comes.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you've got an engineer that's worked in FE, you've got a team that's worked with hybrids in IMSA, and you've raced Formula E cars. So
and Tom has been he also raced Formula E and IMSA.
FE. So I mean, you guys have all the ingredients there.
Yeah.
So are you looking forward to it for that first race? Are you kind of like, because I mean, obviously you're already doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So is that maybe going to be the kind of the tipping point for you guys?
I think I was more negative in the beginning because we're competitive and like, okay, let's not ruin what we have.
Right.
But actually, after I drove it, I was like, yeah, I think we'll actually be better off with this, and we're not like afraid to take it on. Yeah, for sure.
That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so season's going to end. You're going to get married. Are you guys honeymooning immediately, or?
I don't know, probably, because that's going to be like
Not planned
last
yet.
race,
Yeah.
wedding, and then you're going to be like, let's.
So it's not.
Let's go.
You don't have plans yet. You don't know
No,
where you're
that's
going.
on me. So I need to plan. I need
See,
to book
that's
the honeymoon.
good. That's
Yeah.
good because it's postseason, and so you need to just figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my mission.
She's done all the other work
Yes.
on the wedding.
Yeah.
Do you have
I'm
any
happy with
ideas?
that. Any ideas about?
Yeah. Are you going somewhere warm? Are you going somewhere adventurous? What are you thinking of doing?
I mean, after being in Nashville, sweating or off.
Yes. Bits.
Maybe we want to go somewhere cold. I don't know.
Somewhere cold.
I feel like we've been to all the beaches, so maybe we need like a new experience.
Okay.
Any advice?
Well, no, I normally go to beaches. So
Iceland?
No, Greenland.
Greenland.
That's where the
That's
ice
actually
is.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Go see
no,
the
I think-
Northern Lights or something.
Yeah, I've already.
Yeah, you've done that.
I live in the.
Yeah.
I'm from the Northern
That's
Lights.
fair. Yeah, just go.
You
Just go
too.
home. You're already home, so
Yeah.
you just stay there.
I don't know.
You go to Denmark for your
Denmark. Yeah, that's nice and south.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna end up on a beach. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
just somewhere relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Away from it all.
Okay. Have you thought much about? And I'm sure it's far away. Have you thought much about post racing?
No. I think the only thing.
Full stop. All right. Next question.
The only thing I've told myself, I'm not like everyone else. I'm not gonna work in racing.
Okay.
But I think I'm. Yeah, everyone.
So you're not going to be like the next Leo and get a part of a team and be part of, or like TK and become a sporting director for something, or
I mean, that would be cool, but it would be fun to try something new.
you should open a coffee shop.
That for sure. That's already happening,
Okay.
no matter what.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
that's
good-
already
good
in the
point.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I spent all my life racing, so it would be fun
get
to
it.
just like try new things.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna end up like Elio and Tony and all, be on the pit stand with a
Well, look,
headset.
you got a lot of time to figure that stuff out.
Yeah. Not really a prior right now.
Not a priority for sure. The priority is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Priority is the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach,
Yes.
which will have already happened by the time this comes out. So I hope it went well. I thank you for introduction to this god-awful drink. And kids, if you're a young aspiring racer, this is the trick. Just insane amounts of caffeine before you get in the race car.
Stay caffeinated.